My name is Kim K. Whittemore, and I'm a digital artist specializing in surreal photo composites. I've been creating art all my life, starting with traditional mediums and then transitioning to digital over 15 years ago. I became a portrait photographer in 2001, and that was my introduction to Photoshop. Most of that early digital work was simple photo retouching. But around 2012 is when I really started to create digital art. I have a small studio space in the basement of my home in Minot, North Dakota, and this is where I do most of my work. My space may seem cluttered, but I think it's an organized mess. I like to have personal memorabilia, especially old vintage toys, but anything else that makes me feel good around me when I'm creating. Along with my digital work, I still dabble in traditional mediums and would love to eventually do some illustrating for children's books that I want to write. My equipment is basically camera and computer. I use a Canon camera with many various lenses. I have a MacBook Pro hooked up to a Cintiq 13 HD graphics tablet and almost exclusively use Adobe Photoshop. I also sometimes utilize my scanner, and I have many external hard drives to store everything. I also have an HP 3100Z that allows me to print giclée prints up to 24 inches wide. I really love watching my digital creations become a physical piece of art as it's working its way through the printer. I just find that very cool. My process of creating varies. Sometimes I can almost visualize the entire piece before I even start up Photoshop. Other times I have a vague feeling or concept. In either case, I will use dozens of images, layers, adjustment layers, and sometimes freehanding some parts to create the new image. I don't use Photoshop to fool the viewer. It's obvious that what I create isn't a real scenario. But what if it was?